The pros of investing in real estate. That's today's show. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris. Welcome into the Morris Pub and welcome to the Investing in Real Estate show. Today we're going to talk about the pros of real estate investing and really 6 key areas that I think are some key pros into real estate investing. Welcome into the Morris Pub, one of my favorite spots in the world. And today we're drinking I always like to start off with a little scotch, so if you're a scotch drinker, you'll be a big fan of this. And this is the Dalwhinnie. This is what I decided to pour today. This is a Dalwhinnie. This is actually a limited edition that you can only get there. There's only 6,000 bottles available, so I got this when I was in Scotland at the Dalwhinnie Distillery, which is in the Highland region of Scotland. Really beautiful sort of windswept area in the Highlands. It's also the highest distillery in all of Scotland. And what I love about this distillery is that it's a very entry level, I won't say level, but entry point scotch. So if you're just trying to get into drinking some scotch and trying it, try the Dalwhinnie. It's not overly powering with peatiness. It's very light. It's very drinkable and approachable if you're new to scotch. But this is the limited edition, very delicious. They have a ton of spring water there, so it's a very malty, very smoky, malty scotch. Big fan of the Dalwhinnie. Take a little sip here in a second, but fantastic. So today and thank you so much for joining us here in the pub to talk a little real estate investing. That's what we do, is gather up and just kind of shoot the bull about real estate investing. If you're new to the channel, know that I'm a longtime real estate investor. I've rehabbed thousands of homes, and we just did 160 in the past few months, which is crazy. But we have a lot of great crews who, when we have our whiteboard and we say this property is ready to go, get out there, and we renovate it and we place a great tenant in the property. And we have clients who work with our company, Morris Invest, all over the world who want to get started in real estate investing. So that's what we do. And I'm a longtime real estate investor personally, so I do a lot of buy and hold real estate for the purposes of creating cash flow. The whole point that I got into real estate investing is for cash flow, is to give me more space back in my life. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's not for everybody. And we're going to do a whole other video that explains the cons of real estate investing, because there are some downsides. There are some dark sides, there are some downsides, and it's not for everybody. And by the way, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, real estate investing. This is buying boring properties, $50,000 properties, $60,000 properties, $45,000 properties, renovating them, so your all-in cost is in the 50s, that's what we do, 50s, 60s roughly, and you're holding them for the rest of your life. That's boring. You're cash flowing with a tenant, and you have a property management team that takes care of it. And it's boring. It's not flashy. It's not like the Wolf of Wall Street and you're out there doing crazy stuff. You're buying yachts and doing crazy weird stuff. You're buying real estate. And again, it's the slow goal. It's the slow game. And that's what we do. So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's buying tangible assets, holding them for the rest of your life so that you're able to cash flow and live off of that cash for the rest of your life and have financial freedom. That's what we do. So I want to talk about 6 key areas that I see are the pros of real estate investing. Number 1, the tax advantages. There is no better tax shelter anywhere in the world than the United States for real estate investing. And you could try to argue that maybe raw land is good. Yeah, it's good. It's not as good as owning real property, real estate as a tax shelter. Now, let's break down some of the tax advantages of owning real estate. You get the depreciation, right? And if you're smart and savvy, you can even do accelerated depreciation by doing things like cost segregation. We have a whole episode on cost segregation. So don't worry about that. You can dive deeper into that. And if you haven't already listened to my podcast, the Investing in Real Estate podcast on iTunes, go over there and subscribe, because we have a wealth of resources on the tax advantages of real estate investing. And we have one of the geniuses of taxes and one of the best accountants in the world, Tom Wheelwright, on real estate and taxes. And there's no better person to talk about it. So come over and visit the podcast. We'll dive deeper into the tax advantages. But let's just talk about it. Property taxes, right? There's another thing you can write off. Your mortgage interest deduction you can write off on your taxes. Even being able to hand your property down to your kids. That's what we talk about, building legacy wealth. That the capital gains gets wiped away when you transfer it to your kids and they inherit the property. Talk about your losses. You can use the losses from real estate, right? Your depreciation, your other things, to offset your other income that you have coming in. And if you are a real estate investor and you have no other income, that's why real estate investors say if you're a real estate investor and you're paying taxes, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be paying anything in taxes if you're a smart real estate investor. That's why the tax code in this country is written to benefit real estate investors. That's just the way that it is. That's the way that it is. And furthermore, now with the new 2018 tax bill that's now tax law, we have an additional 20% reduction or deduction you're able to claim on your taxes if you own your rental properties in an LLC as a business entity. Pass through LLCs. So the income is coming in. You purchase the property in a limited liability company, which takes 5 minutes to set up, super simple to do, and then you get that additional deduction on your taxes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and there's a lot of stuff I'm not even covering here. If you want more, if you want to understand the legal entities of real estate investing and these other pieces, click on the show cards right here on the channel because we've got so many great resources here to help you become a real estate investor. So number one in this category is taxes, tax advantages. There's nothing like it as a benefit for real estate investing. Number two is freedom and your family. Look, I don't know if you could hear it, but we're at the home studio and actually the kids just came home from school shooting today, and the videos, I can hear my kids, running around. And that's because as a real estate investor, I have the freedom to do what I want. I can travel when I want. I can get on an airplane and take my kids anywhere. And yes, they have school, of course, but I don't have to answer to a boss. I don't have to. I'm my own boss. Because real estate investing enables you to become financially free. You can travel the world. You can do what you want when you have cash flow coming in from your rental properties. That's the exciting part of this. Do you understand? Do you understand that the freedom that real estate creates for you is probably maybe even bigger than anything else? The tax advantages, on the list goes. But having that freedom to live the life you want is one of the biggest benefits of real estate investing. And you can't do that in the stock market, and you can't do that any other way by creating that financial freedom where monthly cash flow is coming in even while you're not there. Even while you're thousands of miles away, your properties can cash flow. I mean, every property I own is nowhere near my backyard. And when I'm traveling, rent checks are hitting my account, whether I'm in town or I'm not. A third pro of real estate investing is you're investing in a tangible asset. I like to think of the stock market, you're investing in pieces of a company which you don't really know about. It's kind of, it's kind of like you're investing in air, that's driven by a board of directors, and the stock can go up or down based on the whims of this sort of mythical company that you're investing in. When you invest in real estate, though, you're investing in a tangible asset. You're investing in a real thing, an actual house, an actual building, an actual apartment building, an actual single-family home. You can drive by it if you want to. I don't ever look at my rental properties because I don't care, but you can touch it, you can feel it, you can put new shingles on the roof, and it's not going anywhere. Homes that I invest in, 60, 70 years old sometimes, even more than that, even less than that. But guess what? They've been there that long, and they're going to be there long after I'm gone. Because you're investing in a tangible, real asset. Now, I know when you're investing in the stock market, you're investing in real companies. If you invest in Apple, etc. But what I'm saying is you actually own this thing. I don't own Apple. I have a fraction of it, yes. Can I tell them to do something different with their iPhones? No, I can't. I have control over this tangible asset. I can renovate it. I can put in a new furnace, new water heater. I can update the roof, update the windows, update the mechanicals, and get it rented with a great tenant who's going to pay me for my asset for many, many years to come. That's the way that it works, having a tangible asset. Next on the list is defrauded. We hear this all the time in the stock market, people being defrauded with the way in which they're investing in this, that company. With real estate, it's almost impossible to happen because, number one, you're investing, again, in a tangible asset. So when you make the purchase of that property, the title company is going to give you the title to that property. They're going to file that with the county. Then the county recorder's office is going to say, this property is owned by John Smith. It's recorded. It's a federal document, when you sign your HUD document. So you're getting an actual deed to a property when you purchase real estate. And with the stock market, I don't know what you get. And you know, you're lucky if you get anything sometimes, because stock value can drop down to zero. With real estate, that can't happen, which brings me to my next point. With real estate investing, let's say you purchase a $50,000 home, and let's say worst case scenario, you didn't get insurance on the property and it burns down, okay? Well, you still are not left with zero. You're actually still left with the value of the land. Real estate can never go down to $0 in value. It can never happen, but the stock can. So the reason I love real estate is, like, what's the worst that could happen? If I buy a $50,000 property and the economy shifts a little bit and maybe now my property is only worth $42,000, I don't care. I don't care at all, because guess what? There's still a tenant living in that property paying me every month. I don't care that it dropped in value $8,000. What am I doing with that $8,000? Nothing. It's equity. It's sort of, it's not even real. It's based on, you know, the sales in the neighborhood and comparables in the neighborhood, but that's not putting cash in my pocket. What's putting cash in my pocket is the tenant who lives in the property, and that rent at $700, $800 a month hasn't changed at all. So maybe the economy dips a little bit and the value of my property dips a little bit, but again, the cash flow remains the same. So again, having that tangible asset that actual produces cash flow and can never go down to $0 in value. And finally, real estate has traditionally been a great hedge against inflation. Why? Because rent keeps up with inflation, right? So the more money people make, the more money's in the economy, the more money they have to spend, that affects rental prices. And so if you were renting that property for $675 a month and things start to improve, we start to see that people are getting more money in their pocket, there's more money in the economy, the government's printing more money, then you may be able to raise the rent up to $700 a month. So typically rents keep up with inflation. It's really like a match. So it's been fantastic sort of hedge against inflation over the years. Now, people may argue, well, no, because if you buy a house for, you know, $300,000 and then the value of the dollar goes down, then you may have in many ways paid $309,000 for a $300,000 house. You could get into that argument, but that's why also there's the power of leverage in real estate investing, right? So if you're only using, you know, maybe you use 60,000 of your own dollars and the bank put up the money for the rest, then you're getting an incredible return because you didn't put up all $300,000 in that property. So there are many levels of hedging against inflation with real estate investing. So there you go. Those are 6 ways that I love real estate investing, and I believe that there are some true pros in this analogy. Remember, family, taxes, the freedom that it allows you to have. You can never lose it all with real estate investing. It can never go down to $0 in value, and you control a tangible, real thing, and it's such a great hedge against inflation. But again, I think my favorite is freedom. The freedom that it creates with you and your family to travel the world, to be able to save so much on your taxes, and to be able to have that monthly cash flow that gives you more time and space back in your life. I would love to hear your thoughts about today's episode. Please place your comments in the thread below. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not already a subscriber, please do. We publish videos regularly here to help you become a real estate investor. And if you want to book a call with my team, we are standing by. We would love to talk with you if you're ready to take that plunge into real estate investing and pick up your first rental property. We do everything for you, so you don't have to do anything. It's pretty darn simple, actually. So you can click on the link below, which is Morris Invest is our website, morrisinvest.com, just my last name, Morris, M-O-R-R-I-S, invest.com, and click on the Book a Call tab, and we'll jump on the phone with you for 30 minutes and talk with you. But I really want you to take notes, take action, go through these videos, and really think about what changes you want in your life for the upcoming years, because you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And then that means we all can build a better economy. We can all build a better society because we're spending more time doing the things that we love, right? Like having a little scotch. Enjoy a little Dalwhinnie. And we'll see you back here in the pub for the next video, everyone. Now go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. Much love to you. Bottoms up.